What is up, my friends? So, everything has to come to an end, right? 13 Reasons Why's final season is here. That doesn't mean, however, we might be done with the 13 Reasons Why story because apparently there's chatter and rumors out there that we might be getting a spin off of sorts. I'll get more to that in the ending of this video, and I'll make another video about all of that as well. But this was the final season. The final season, what is going to happen? How will there be closure after everything that's happened? And are people still tuning in? That's a big question I have because we saw a trajectory of sorts. The first season came out, boom, it was big. Second season came out, bigger. But then the third season came out and they were like on a downward trend. So I'm pretty curious to see if this will bring it back up just because out of curiosity to see how everything closes up and what happens next. Or are we just going to see this series just downward trend as well again? So let me know your thoughts about that. Were you interested in season 1, 2, 3, and 4, or did you lose interest at a point? Let me know. But anyways, if you haven't already subscribed to the channel, what are you waiting for? Let's get to 15,000 subscribers. We are so close to getting to that. Make sure you guys give it a thumbs up, and let's just get right into this ending. So, 13 Reasons Why Season 3 ended with the discovery of who killed Bryce. So at the end of season 3, we find out exactly how Bryce died. So we see that pretty much Alex accidentally pushed him off, and since he was severely injured from being beaten up before that, he wasn't really able to swim back up and pretty much drowned. Now the whole group pretty much was like, you know what? We can find a way to make this better because we know you didn't really want to do that. And so what we're going to do is we're going to pretty much blame it on Monty. Since Monty's in jail already because of what he did to Tyler, he pretty much can just take this on himself, and that's pretty much how we're going to do it. And what happens is that Monty actually does end up dying in prison, and Winston was actually with him that night as we saw the two have a moment, and he's like, no, Monty couldn't have done that because he was with me the whole time. And so he pretty much confronts Annie about this at the end of season 3, but it's all like pretty much left to be ambiguous of sorts. So season 4 opens up with a funeral, and we're probably like, holy shit, again, here we go. They don't really reveal who it is until the final episode, well, final 2 episodes, who it would be. And we find out in that final 2 episodes that it's actually Justin whose funeral they're attending, as he has actually contracted HIV and then it turned into AIDS, and he eventually did die. This pretty much is going to haunt Clay towards the end of this season, but what we do see is that it pretty much closes a lot of things for a lot of people. Jessica as well being one of them. She actually does have to test herself to find out if she herself has HIV, as well as Diego, and a character that she has actually hooked up with and actually has started a relationship of sorts with. They both test negative, so that leaves that all closed right there. And then she pretty much has this new sense of hope after graduation that things are going to be okay, you know? And what we do see is that what we do end up seeing is that she finally has her confrontation with the ghost of Bryce. There are some ghosts here, but they're more like memories haunting our characters than any supernatural ghosts. So I don't think they're coming here like in a supernatural way. So they do have the final confrontation, and this is pretty much the final closure she needs to continue on living. So one of the other things in this season from the trailer, besides the funeral, that was pretty much like on everybody's mind, was who was actually like saying that they knew the truth about Monty and all of that. Was it Winston, which was somebody who I said was the one who was doing all of this? It turns out it was actually the football team that was playing tricks to try and actually find out what did happen, because they don't believe that Monty would have killed Bryce. Well, Winston was actually still trying to uncover the truth as well as he was going about. But it actually all just comes to him from Alex, who confesses to him after Justin's funeral about what happened. And he's pretty much saying, like, this is the reason it happened, all of this. Winston is sort of satisfied with this explanation from Alex, and he doesn't really pursue it more after that. We also find out that Deputy Standall, hiding all of this from, like, not falling onto his son, the murder of Bryce, is actually, like, okay with the sheriff. He's like, well, I know what happened here, the cover up and all of this, and it's just like, I guess we'll let it go, right? So they pretty much take the cases, leave it at the basement, and that's that. And pretty much now we're like, damn, Alex got away with murder, right? So Tyler, we do see him end up, as I say, with Monty's sister, who gets introduced this season as well. Estella, who is nothing like Monty when he got introduced into the series. She's actually pretty much a good person from the get-go. Because Monty did have a redemption towards the end, although it was too late, but he did have a redemption. But we do see them sort of turn into a relationship as well, and she takes on being the leader of Hands Off now that Jessica is going to graduate. Alex and Charlie's romance keeps going as well, and Tony and Caleb's. So I think that the one we've seen the most distraught throughout this season, and I mean all the whole series because it's centered around him, was Clay. My boy Clay never got a moment to breathe until now. And this season especially was pretty hard for him. Everything going on. He was with a psychologist throughout the season as well. And just going through his whole mental state and everything that was happening. And he does go over the grief that he has for Jeff, Hannah, and Justin, which he has to have sort of repressed throughout this whole series because there were other things going about. And then he's now finally able to pretty much come out and just express all of these ghosts and memories that have been haunting him, and pretty much like going now to the side as well. And that's pretty much how the season ends, with Clay sort of being able to drive away, literally as well, with Tony from everything that's happened to them, and just pretty much have a sense of closure, if you will. So with that closure as well comes season 1 coming back to us with Hannah, where we see her actually sort of appear to Clay in one of those I would say visions, I would say, not hallucination, but sort of like epiphanies that a character has. And we quickly see that this is interrupted as well by a girl who sort of looks like Hannah. And the girl pretty much tells Clay that they should go out to have some coffee to talk about the upcoming college that they're about to be attending. And pretty much this puts a closure to Clay and to the Hannah ordeal, and he's able to move on from it now into his new life, as well as we see them also burying the original tapes and just pretty much being like, you know what, we got through all of this together and here we are, and it's good that we are able to come forward. And even though we're not going to be together anymore as everything's coming to an end, we are still able to pretty much say and look back at, man, that group of people, they were there for me, and we grew and we're better now. So it was a pretty conclusive ending, and I do like that they didn't really try to go for a sort of like, oh my god, mystery, whodunit type of thing like they were doing with the previous season, because they wanted this to be a closure. It was 10 episodes, so I mean, they weren't going to go full on crazy with it, right? I do enjoy that they pretty much gave everybody that sort of peace and left them also to deal with everything that happened as well, and sort of have to come face with it, you know what I mean? And it was pretty good ending, I would say. And now there are talks and rumors that they might be doing some spin-offs of sorts, so I could definitely see that coming back. Maybe somebody who was left pissed off at the end, because I mean, there's still some things that there could be acknowledged as well, which I'll talk about in another video of where they could come back with this. Maybe not a series, but maybe a movie. So I'll do that video maybe next week, so make sure you're subscribed for that. But overall, the ending just pretty much gives us that closure that we've been thinking we were going to get for like 3 seasons now. So let me know your thoughts on it below, and what did you think about the season overall. I thought it was pretty good as well, more of a psychological one than any of the previous seasons, definitely, especially with characters dealing with mental anguish and all of that. So your thoughts below. Did you like it? Did we need it? Or do you think they should have just kept it? So let me know below what your thoughts are on that. So yeah, a very, very good way to end a series that dealt with a lot of issues, and they've gotten their flack in the past for all of that as well. But I do believe that they have been able to come back from it of sorts, I would say. Although some things do hit or miss, and that's with anything. And I don't condone them for doing that, but I do believe that they were able to tackle things and sort of be able to have future shows see how to do things, how to come across certain issues that are very triggerish, I would say. So let me know your thoughts on that. But check out my other thoughts on other Netflix shows as well that you might love, such as On My Block, Outer Banks, Never Have I Ever. So, and also make sure you subscribe, like, comment, share, all that good stuff. On the road to 15,000 subscribers, so close. Anyways, as always, that's gonna do it for me. I'll see all of you next time. Stay safe, stay positive.